Why are men balding? Why are men losing their hair? Environmental pollution has an impact. It takes its toll. The body, the biological body of a woman is far more fragile than that of a man. And so the impact upon her is greater. But he also suffers. Because the Prophet said one of the signs of the last day is that one man would have to maintain how many women? 50. One man would have to maintain 50 women. He didn't say one man would have to marry 50. One man would have to maintain 50. Doesn't this strike a bell? That there's some mysterious change taking place in the sperm? Maybe the genetically re-engineered food that we eat. And so the number of children who are born who will be male will begin to decline and decline and decline as genetically re-engineered food and as environmental pollution increases, until eventually one man would have to maintain 50 women. This environmental pollution in the age of Dajjal, Dukhan, which causes climatic change as well, also impacts on female fertility. And so she's traveling first class, she can't have any babies. And the slave woman is down at the hull of the ship. But because she has been too poor to embrace the feminist revolution, her womb is still fertile. And so her womb will now become a factory. Her womb will now become a factory. She's impregnated, and the baby is a first-class baby. First-class baby. But the slave woman has to carry the baby to term. At least for these 9 months, she's going to live like a queen. There's good food to eat and clean water to drink and so on. But what happens when the baby is born? It is Muhammad ﷺ speaking 1400 years ago in answer to the angel. When the baby is born, the baby is going first class. And the mother remains as a slave in the bottom of the ship. And so a slave woman is given birth to her mistress. There's Dajjal in all of this. There's Dajjal in the riba. There's Dajjal in the feminist revolution. There's Dajjal at work in the environmental pollution. What these 5 questions are telling us is, you must embrace Islam. And after you've embraced Islam, you must live it. Live it. Live it with sincerity. Live it full time, not part time. And the heart must turn to Allah. And when you live Islam full time, then one day Allah will put nur into your heart. Light. They don't sell that light in the stock market. The heart will now be able to see. And it is with that internal sight, spiritual insight, plus external observation, observing the international monetary system, that spirituality will now deliver to you the understanding of the world in which you live today, the last stage. And so spirituality is not for taking a trip and going up the arsh and coming back down. That's not the purpose of spirituality. Spirituality is not for performing karamat, supernatural acts. Raise your finger, it has life in it. That's not the purpose of spirituality. The purpose of spirituality is to deliver an internal capacity to see, so that you'll be able to read the signs of Allah, most of all in the last age. Before we end, there are some books of mine which unfortunately we don't have with us tonight. They're all sold out. But there's Islam and Buddhism in the Modern World, which I announced to you was going to be published when I was there last time. It's now published. Islam and Buddhism in the Modern World is outside. The Quranic method of curing alcoholism and drug addiction is also outside. And an interesting conversation between George Bernard Shaw and Maulana Abdul Alim Siddiqui, rahimahullah. I edited the text and I also wrote a commentary. You can read it in probably an hour or two. And this book is also outside. رَبَّنَا تَقَبَّلْ مِنَّا إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ السَّمِيعُ الْعَلِيمُ وَتُبْ عَلَيْنَا يَا مَوْلَانَا إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ التَّوَّابُ الرَّحِيمُ بِرَحْمَتِكَ يَا أَرْحَمَ الرَّاحِمِينَ آمين.